So it's been eventful 24 hours around the Ontario Hockey League, and yesterday I was doing some errands, so I wasn't able to make a video. So I wanted to do it here this morning, as quite the event happened last night in Brampton between the Steelheads and the Oshawa Generals. So let's start there, as Luke Dragusica is suspended pending a review, and it's as a result of an incident that happened late in the hockey game. I'll share the video here, but basically, Dragusica took a double hit behind his own net. This is in the final minutes of the game between the Steelheads and the Generals. Brampton already up 3-0, but Dragusica upset about taking that hit and swung his stick at Blaseg, hitting him in the head, and then follows it up with a cross check. A very dangerous play, something you don't want to see in hockey or even just in sports. The intent to injure is there, and this could be a very lengthy suspension. I know there's some on social media who are already saying he should be suspended for the year, maybe even a ban from the Ontario Hockey League, but we'll have to wait and see how the OHL handles this. You know this is going to be a significant suspension, as you got to be in control of your stick and you have to be in control of your emotions. I can't think of a moment similar to this in the Ontario Hockey League in quite some time, as Dragusica getting the emotions getting the better of him, and that two-handed swing, a very dangerous play. I wouldn't be surprised if he's suspended at least 20 games would be probably the start, and then you go from there. He's not an offensive defenseman. He's a defensive defenseman. 37 penalty minutes already this year, just 2 assists in 15 games. So he's going to be missing some significant time here for the Brampton Steelheads. So we'll see where the league goes. I'm thinking it starts at 20 games at a minimum, but I wouldn't even be surprised if it's more than that. So we'll have to wait and see what the league does. Expect that suspension to be announced probably Monday or Tuesday. But right now, his suspended pending a review, and we'll have to wait and see where it goes from here. Now, on an exciting news front, the city of Kingston has been named the first in-person OHL draft host since 2000. So the draft has been done online for the last 25 years, but for 2026, the Ontario Hockey League returning to an in-person selection, which I think is fantastic. A lot of excitement among fans and even the media. We're asking questions the last couple of years for Brian Crawford since he took over as the OHL commissioner, asking if the league would go back to an in-person draft. And we're seeing even at the NHL level how the people want the in-person draft. They don't like the whole online way. It can be awkward, it can be timely, but the OHL, they're going back to it. I know in 2000 when they did the last draft in person, the costs were cited as a reason. Also, the players that don't get selected, so if they show up to the venue, just the emotions for those players. But the Ontario Hockey League wanting to go back, so it's in partnership with Tourism Kingston and the Real Canadian Superstore, and it's going to take place June 12th to 13th at Slush Puppy Place. And that's the part that gets me really excited, is the fact the draft is being moved to June. Because for the last, as long as I can remember, the draft has always been held the second round of the playoffs, which is not easy if you're a team still in the postseason chase. We saw it last year between Barrie and Kingston, where the Kingston management staff had to leave early back to Kingston to prepare for the draft while their team is in the middle of a postseason push. So I think that's a huge plus for the Ontario Hockey League, moving the draft to June. And also the fact they're choosing Kingston, because usually when you see these big events, the league has tended to favor the big cities like London, Kitchener, Windsor, Ottawa. But these last few years under Brian Crawford, we're seeing other communities get a chance to host key events. Look at the Connor McDavid Top Prospects game last year. They went to Brantford, which was, I think, an outstanding choice. And then this year it's in Peterborough. Now you have the draft in Kingston. So it's nice to see that other communities in the Ontario Hockey League are getting a chance to host these special events. And it's good to see just even that cycle, just to see other communities, what they can provide. It gives them that flair. And Kingston is going to be an outstanding host. Downtown Kingston, a lot of great nightlife, a lot of restaurants. You also have a lot of hotels. So obviously they're going to be able to host all the families that are going to be coming to this draft in June. And it's just going to be great to see that it's back in person and the draft has been moved to June. So those are some big announcements from the Ontario Hockey League, and a great step for the league moving forward. Another story we've been following has been Oscar Hemming. He was drafted, of course, by the Kitchener Rangers. He signed that contract in August, but is yet to be able to play due to a contract disagreement with his team from Finland. As the last update we got was because of the transfer agreement, the IIHF, overseeing everything. The BCHL was seen as a way for him to still get ice time. He signed a contract with the Crusaders and the BCHL, so the thought was he would play there, at least get some ice time, because he's a projected first-round pick for the upcoming NHL entry draft. So you want him to get some ice time, some good quality minutes, playing against his peers. And it seemed as though that was the direction we were going to go, waiting for a decision from the Finnish club, who still hold his rights, even though his family, got rid of the contract or signed against the contract, and they wanted to see him move over to Kitchener. But the IIHF has now ruled that if Oscar Hemming plays a game in the BCHL, he will be suspended from international play for 3 seasons. So he would not be able to play for Finland at the upcoming World Junior Hockey Championships or any future event on the international stage for the next 3 seasons, as the BCHL seen as a loophole, and that was a chance for him to still play. But the IIHF coming down hard and saying that no, if Oscar Hemming plays in the BCHL, he'll be suspended 3 seasons from international play. And it's kind of frustrating for the Kitchener Rangers. Mike McKenzie, the general manager, has come out and said that he's, he feels as though the IIHF is favoring the European clubs and not really giving a say for the North American teams. He says that IIHF, they play by different rules, and he's learning a lot about the system and how broken and corrupt it truly is throughout this whole process. So some strong words there from the general manager of the Kitchener Rangers. And there's been frustrations too with the talks with the Finnish team. They feel like they're getting the runaround every time they set up a meeting, either the Rangers or the family. And they feel as though it does come down. It's Kaiko Espoo is the team in Finland. And the way it works is that if it's team or a player gets selected in the first round, the National Hockey League, they give a fee of $35,000 US to the hockey club because the player was selected by their team. And then after that, from the second round through 7th round, those teams get $20,000 when a player is selected from their squads. So what it comes down to, Oscar Hemming is seen to be a first-round pick. So if he's drafted from the Kitchener Rangers, technically that $35,000 goes to the Rangers of the Ontario Hockey League. But Kaiko Espoo, if they drag their feet here and he's technically drafted from their organization, then they would get that money. So that's where it seems to be heading, or at least that's what Mike McKenzie is suggesting here with the situation with Oscar Hemming and now the IIHF coming in. And really, it's the player that's affected the most. You want Hemming to get the ice time. You want him to even play. It's his development. And now because of a whole off-ice argument, it's now affecting his chance to play hockey this year in a big year for him, as he's projected to go in the first round of the NHL draft. So we'll see where this goes next. Mike McKenzie says he's willing to make a deal. If it's about the money, he's willing to make a deal with the Finnish hockey club, and still nothing from the team in Finland. So that situation continues to be held up. But as long as he doesn't play in the BCHL, we should see Oscar Hemming suit up for Team Finland at the World Juniors. But it's been a while since he's played meaningful games, and that's going to be a tough spot for him in his development. So we'll see what happens next. Now, sticking with the Kitchener Rangers, Darren Dreger has posted on X that we should hear a final decision by the end of next week as to who will host the 2027 CHL Memorial Cup. We know it's between the Kitchener Rangers and the Guelph Storm. They actually play today, played twice before the announcement. It'd be kind of nice, too, if we went back to that way the OHL used to do it to decide the Memorial Cup host. Play a little bit of a tournament, and then the winner will host the event, because Guelph and Kitchener, I think, would either put on a great show for the Memorial Cup. Guelph last hosted in 2002 at the Sleeman Center, and then Kitchener last hosted in 2008 at the Odd. So I think both cities would be fantastic for hosting. But we should find out by the end of next week who will host the Memorial Cup in 2027. And as soon as we get that decision, that's going to bring some clarity for a team like the Rangers, especially. What do they do leading up to the OHL trade deadline? Is it going to be a focus on a run this year, or do you focus on next year as the host? But if they're not hosting, then do they go all in this season and try and win a OHL championship, something they haven't done since 2008 when they last hosted the Memorial Cup. So expect a decision later this week, probably Thursday, Friday is the sounds of it. And of course, once we have that decision made, I'll post a video and we can have a conversation about what that decision means for either the Rangers or the Storm. So I know I don't usually post videos on a Saturday morning, but I figured with everything going on right now, a video needed to be posted. And yeah, let me know in the comments section down below your thoughts on any of these news items. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.